storms in life.
Oh, yes. Yes, he has.
And no matter how bleak or how dark it looked, he always showed up and showed out.
Yes, sir. Yes.
When you're trusting in God,
Oh, yes. Yes.
you know it doesn't matter about the storm because you know who's in the storm with you.
Amen. Amen.
First, giving unto God, the author and the finisher of my faith.
Yes.
Amen.
Officers in their respective places, family, friends, and saints, we give you on this world.
Amen.
We give honor to the angel of this house,
Amen.
Dr. Julius Crawford in his absence. My first lady and first girls in their absence as well, we give you honor.
Amen.
As I go forward, I come to tell somebody there's a word from God.
All right. All right.
For the people of God.
Yes.
Y'all sound like y'all ready to have church.
Yes. Amen.
And you will find it in 2 Chronicles.
All right.
Just one simple verse. That 14th verse. That's 2 Chronicles, 7th chapter, 14th verse. And you will find recorded in 2 Chronicles 7 and 14 reads, as if my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves.
Yes.
I better say that part again. Shall humble themselves.
Yes.
And pray and seek my face. And turn from their wicked ways. Then will I hear from the land and will forgive their sin and will heal their land.
Amen.
Grass may wither, flowers may fade, but the word of God shall stand.
Amen.
My brothers and sisters, as we turn on our TV and see that a fear is slowly passing over the land. As we watch around us and we see that COVID has reared its head and standing even worse now than it was even in the previous time.
Amen.
That it seems like every time that it seems that a leeway starts and we're moving forward, some comes in with a new strain and knocks us back.
All right.
Yeah.
But we come with the understanding that if God be with you,
Amen.
He's more than the world against you.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
Some are losing hope as they go to the grocery store just to look around at the aisles and see that things are slowly dwindling down.
Yes.
Food is starting to get scarce.
Yes.
We look around and we see that schools are starting to close and churches are now limited to how many occupants you can have inside of there. Well, things seems to be getting rough.
Yes.
But I come to tell you that many are merely brushing it off and saying that, well, I'm not going to church, but I came to tell somebody we look at church as if the only place that COVID inhabits. Because we go to the mall with no problem. We go to the beauty salon with no problem. We go to the barber shop with no problem. But when it comes to walking in God's house,
All right.
all of a sudden we have a fear.
Look out.
Many of us say that we're going to trust God, our rock, our sword, and our shield. But when the road starts to get rough, we decided that we're not playing church anymore.
All right. All right.
But 2 Chronicles tells us in 7:14 that my people, the believers, that's who he's talking about. He's not, we're looking around now, we're looking for the world to turn, but God said, my people.
Amen.
My people is a big word, and it barrels everybody into one barrel. He's not talking about the black man. He's not talking about the white man. He's not talking about the Democrat. He's not talking about the Republican. But he said, my people.
My people. That's right.
That believe
Yes.
should humble themselves and turn from their wicked ways.
Yes.
You'll find that as the church goes on, we find that humbleness has been passed away.
All right.
That we find that as we go into church, that want to turn from our wicked ways is a hard barrier because this is something that we like to do. Yes, if you give a child enough candy, he will eat it till he gets sick.
Yes, sir.
And it's pretty much like seeing it. You like the taste of it because it's sweet. It feels good to you, so you're not willing to let it go.
All right.
But there needs to be a turning and a shifting in the spirit.
Yes.
Because we live in a world now that it's hard to tell the saint from the ain't. Because the world is now doing the exact same thing that the church is doing in the churches and bringing it on into God's house. And you're getting brought to decide who is who.
All right now.
But we see a lot going on in that first verse that says, my people. Can I just park right there? Just for a minute.
All right.
I promise you I will leave the car running. John 10:27-28 declares that my sheep know my voice.
Yes.
And I know them and they follow me and I will give them eternal life. Isn't that a promise that gets better than any 401k plan that you can get? We need to understand that God is calling us into repentance.
Yes.
Being humble allows you to have a hard desire to repent, but being society, they take being humble as a sign of weakness.
Yes.
We figure that we're not apologizing to nobody because if we apologize, they're going to think that I'm soft and just turn around and do it all over again.
All right now.
But I'm so glad that Jesus didn't look at it that way and went to an old rugged cross one day.
All right.
Yeah.
He took my sins as well as he took yours and took all the forgiveness, put it on his back, and walked up an old hill called Calvary.
Yes. Yes.
Proverbs 4:12 states that there's a way of a man that seemeth right, but the end thereof is destruction. We twisted God's laws and words so long that we started thinking we right.
All right.
We figured that if we can control things around here, that we would shift it. All of a sudden, when the world starts to shift and start to turn upside down, now it's time for us to give God a call. But if we had had God in this situation on the first place, we would have been down with the storm.
Yes, sir.
It amuses me when I ride around and I see a car that says, God is my co-pilot.
Uh-huh.
That means you got God behind you.
That's power.
But if you had him as your pilot,
Yes,
driving,
sir. Yes, sir.
some of the situations you end up in, you wouldn't be there.
Yes.
Some of the troubles you face, you wouldn't have, but oh, God is my co-pilot.
Yeah.
And being your co-pilot, we try to tend to choose God as in case of emergency, break glass.
All right. That's all right.
I'm glad you're asking. We build these problems up and we think that we can handle them, and boy, when they finally break out on us,
All right.
we run to the fire station and power break the glass, and now God, we give it to you.
All right. Amen.
The world right now is looking at the saints. Wants to know okay, saints, all this going on, are you going to stand up now?
Uh-huh.
But you'll find that as we start to close the churches, we're doing exactly what the people said we're doing. You know, as long as you're walking in God's walk, somebody's watching you.
Amen.
I come to tell somebody you might not be the Bible. Everybody doesn't read the Bible.
Yes.
But you might be the only Bible that they ever read.
Amen. That's
So as
right.
you start to fold down under the pressure, the first thing they're going to say, well, we knew you didn't have nothing in the first place.
Amen.
But I came to tell somebody, notice that God said, if you stand for me, I'll never have you embarrassed or ashamed of who I am.
All right.
So as we pray and seek God's face and turn, we start to remember on this road that we've had heartaches, but yet we survived.
Yes.
Yeah, we look at this road, we find that we had trouble on every corner, but yet we survived.
Yes.
Many of us have been sick on this old journey, but yet we survived.
Yes.
We've been in the hospital, doctors have walked away and shook their head, but yet we survived.
Yes.
We have been downtrodden, cast down, but yet we still survived.
Yes.
I come to tell somebody, no matter how rough it may get, no matter how dark the clouds may
All
get,
right.
if you're holding on to God's unchanging hand, you will survive. Do you hear me now? Did anybody come to have church today?
All right.
That on that dark
Yes.
side when the world is looking like it's looking now, our children is in a time where the devil is having a field day with them, yet we will survive.
Yes. Amen.
Because God said, I'll never leave you nor forsake you. That is a promise that a friend can admit. Many of us have those friends that say, I'm going to be right there by your side.
All right.
But when the time came and you needed that friend,
All right.
they were nowhere to be seen.
Yes.
Yes, even on the way to the gate, Peter told Jesus, I'll never leave you. I'm going to be with you
Uh-huh.
until the end.
All right.
But oh, Jesus even understood that before the cock crows 3 times, you will deny me.
Yes.
pastor, they stood around and they recognized Peter. Peter said, I don't know the man.
All right.
I don't know who you're talking about. And then the third time, Peter went as far as to curse. But yet you're still standing with God.
Yes.
All right.
I come to tell Alan Chapel today that if you continue to hold on to God's unchanging hand,
Yes.
that God will make your rough roads plain, your high places slow,
Yes.
your hills smooth.
Amen.
Philippians 2 and 12 tell us to work out our salvation with fear and trembling. Meaning that if you understand who God is,
Amen.
that the pandemic doesn't bother you.
All right.
My grandmother used to sing a song and said, this joy that I have,
Yes.
the world didn't give it to me.
Yes.
And the world can't take it away.
Amen.
It can take a master's degree to understand that if you trusted in God,
Yes.
that
Yes.
God will hold you even in the midst of every storm.
Yes.
Amen.
She went as far as even tell me at Gold Mitchell that he might not come when you want him, but he's always on time.
That's right.
All we have to do is understand that my people who are called by my name
Yes.
Yes.
should humble themselves,
Yes.
Yes.
turn from their wicked ways,
Amen.
Yes.
and seek God's face.
Yes.
And we're living in a time now that we need to seek God's face.
All right.
Every time we wake up, we look at the news, we find there's something else that's going wrong.
Yes.
God saying, my people, I'm talking to you right now.
All right.
As they say in the rising, do you hear me now? You need to turn from your wicked ways.
Yes.
Some of the things that you're doing is not pleasing in my sight.
right.
My church, I'm talking to you. It's time for you to stand up.
Yes.
If there's any time for the church to stand up,
Yes.
it ought to be right now.
Amen.
Because I'm thinking about the time when this world was about to be destroyed. And they had a meeting up in heaven. And there came a voice that said, God said, I'm tired of dealing with man.
All right.
And if you look at the world right now, God is still saying, I'm tired of dealing with man.
All right.
Because every time I tell man to go one way, man will go another. I tell man to love one another, man decides to fall out and hate one another. I'm tired of dealing with man and I'm ready to do away with this. But in the background there was a voice that said, Father, send me on down and I will redeem man. He went down through 42 generations. Died in an old rugged cross. But early one morning, early one morning, he got up with all power in his hands. Oh grave, where is your victory? Oh death, where is your sting? When you had broke me off, God said, I got it, that's my child right there. When the world said you'd be no good, God said, I'm still holding on to him. When they say he'll never mount to anything, God said, I got work for him to do. So when the world tells you you'll never make it, God is still right there by your side. Sometimes you gonna have to crawl, sometimes you gonna have to cry, but Jesus is right there waiting on you. He said, take one step and I'll meet you the rest of the way. That's God telling the world, it's time for my people to turn from their wicked ways.
Yes. Amen. Yes. All right. Yes.
Yes, Lord.
It's time.
Yes, Lord.
Hear me now.
Yes, Lord.
As I cast
My Lord.
question out on the airways and from pews, what is it going to take
Yes. Yes,
Amen.
for us to go back to being the churches
Lord. Yes.
God called us to be?
Amen.
We're living in a time
What
now
is
where
it gonna
we see
take?
that love has waxed cold.
Yes, Lord.
But God has told us thirdly, how do you know my children?
Yes, Lord.
By the love that they show.
Amen.
Yes, Lord.
So as I get ready to close out,
Yes.
Mm.
I ask the question again, what will it take?
Yes, Lord.
bless you, Allen Chapel. I thank you for having me.
Mm.
Open up doors of the church right now. And if someone is viewing in the city and would like a closer walk with God.
Yes.
And if that be you, I can simply offer you Romans 10:9 that if you confess with your mouth
Yes.
and believe in your heart that Jesus died and rose again,
Yes.
that thou shalt be saved. There's
Yes.
no magic tricks, there's no gimmicks. It's just that simple. He didn't say there's no possibility you might be. He said you shall
Yes.
be saved.
Yes.
And as we look at the world, we see that time is winding down.
Amen.
And if this would be a great day to turn and make your way to God.
Amen.
Maybe somebody decide prayer. Stand as I do at Spring Grove. If you're standing in intercessory prayer for somebody, all you got to do is simply lift up their name. Because prayer will go over farther than these walls and this road could ever take us. Prayer will reach to the end of the world if you put it in God's hand and give it to Him. I lift up the pastor.
Yes.
Miss Crawford.
Yes. Yes, Lord.
Spring Grove Baptist Church, Allen Chapel. All churches that have their doors open.
Amen.
Declaring Jesus to a cold world.
Amen.
Those at the hospital, those at the nursing home, those that on our sick and shut-in list everywhere.
Yes.
Every man of God that is out, toiling in the vineyard, we lift them up. We lift up every leadership position, and most of all, we lift up our children right now.
Yes, Lord.
Because they're living in a world right now where things seems to be going way worse than it was when we was out there.
Amen.
And as I tell Spring Grove that if you're going to worry, don't pray.
All right.
And if you're going to pray, don't worry.
All right.
Amen.
Because why should you stay up all night long, tossing and turning, fighting something that if you could have fixed, you'd have fixed it a long time ago.
Amen.
But why should you stay up when you got a God that never sleeps nor slumbers?
Yes. Yes.
He tells us to place it in His hand and let it go.
Amen.
It doesn't do us no good, and many of us do it. We pray and we go up there, we place it on the altar, then we pick it back up and take it back down. In other words, you haven't had enough yet. You still got to fight with this thing till you make up your mind to give it to God.
Yes.
Many of us just don't understand. We're standing in the way of our own blessings because we will not let God come in.
All right. All right.